Before BSO, I was Michelangelo, the artistic flow coming from STL Mall. The legendary shows, I knew I'd be a star, but little did I know it wouldn't be from ball. See, that's the big league, the radar online. I wasn't the undefeated, but I still was gon' shine. I took a few L's, took them shots like Pop, but then I got my weight up like Jason Whitlock. Pivot like Ryan Clark, skipping Bailey, Shannon Sharp. Don't have to scream like Stephen A to get my point across. Climb Jamel Hills, won carry championships. They were quick to pull the gun, hoping Rob would quit. But 15 years later, Rob still the shit. Rob still legit. Rob still on everyone's pound for pound list. Rob is courtside, Rob is ringside. Catch Rob outside at the 50-yard line. Don't act surprised, Rob is a winner. George Steinbrenner cooking up these headlines. What you want for dinner? The Black Sports Center, you know who I be. Triple OG, the Ohio State University. That's who reps me. I love for a friend. I just murdered this track, called that a dead spin. The Headline King is back.
Daniel Jones read a Dear John letter before he was released by the New York Giants. He essentially took responsibility for his poor play over the last few seasons. He took accountability for the fact that as a first-round draft pick, he was not able to take the Giants to the heights that they believed that he would. He seemed sincerely sad and upset that he didn't perform to the level that he believed that he could. And for what it's worth, this is how he was treated by the media after that.
You guys think he had this saved in his notes since like 2020? In all seriousness, DJ, I could have saved you like 90 seconds. A rewrite. Sorry you paid me $108 million for one playoff win, and I look forward to reviving my career as Brock Purdy's backup. The end.
For the record, I'm a big fan of Elle Duncan, but she has this all backwards. You can never,
and The Rock means,
be overpaid as a worker. Let me repeat. You can never be overpaid as a worker. The reason why is you're worth what they offer you. If someone offers you $100, somebody offers you $1,000, and somebody offers you $1 million, that is what you're worth. You yourself cannot be overpaid. And therefore, any criticism about what you make should not be thrown in your face. It should be thrown in the employer's face. The Giants are worth over $7 billion. They're not hurting for cash. They had an opportunity to simply walk away from Daniel Jones. They had no obligation to offer him any type of contract. They could have franchised Daniel Jones, or they could have allowed him to become a free agent. The Giants decided that they were going to offer him $120 million. That's not Daniel Jones's fault. You should never, and the Rob means never, apologize for someone offering you an exorbitant amount of money. What are you going to do? If somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm going to offer you $100 million, and you know that you're trash, are you still not going to take it? Or are you going to say, no, I'm not going to take the $100 million because I'm not good? That never happens, ever, in any industry. Because if you look at it, sports analysts, sports reporters, hot takers, they can say the same thing about us. They can say the same thing about us. You say certain things, you give certain opinions, and you're way off. Should we garnish your check? Should we take your salary back? You are what you're worth. You may not like Stephen A. Smith, but if ESPN says he's worth $25 million a year, that's what he's worth. He's not overpaid. You can be critical of the employer, but not the employee. So Daniel Jones, I want you to hold your head up high, super high, because nobody told the Giants to pay you that money. And furthermore, everyone said, don't do it. So if there's any criticism to be levied, if there's any slander to be thrown out there, the slander is to the New York Giants, not to Daniel Jones, who seems to be a good kid and a bad quarterback. So why is he getting all of this anger? Why is he supposed to apologize? He didn't have the GM's daughter tied up in a Brooklyn basement. They came to him and said, listen, even though Saquon Barkley's the reason that you've been successful in any shape, form, or fashion, we want to offer you $120 million. What was he supposed to do? Say no? Come on, man. We have to be honest and unbiased. We have to talk about facts, not feelings. The NFL is the only American professional sports league that doesn't guarantee their contracts, even though they make over $20 billion in revenue every year. Even though they're the only American sport where you may see someone almost die on the field, where you may see someone doing their hands are doing the crip signals after a hit. This should be the league out of all the leagues that have guaranteed contracts. But the NFL is the only league where they could just break a contract anytime they feel like it. And the only repercussions is something called dead cap. Cap hits. It's not real repercussions. It's accounting repercussions. The person that's owed the money is the person that is dealing with the repercussions because the contract is not worth the words that is on the paper. And somehow, some way, NFL owners have manipulated media and have manipulated fans to believe that it's the players that are greedy. It's the players that want too much. It's the players that are overpaid. When someone like Derrick Henry, right, is making less money than the eighth man on the Toronto Raptors, that should tell you there's a problem with the salary structure in the NFL. And I know what people like to say, well, there's more players in the NFL. That's all. You just scale it down. It's not a big major accounting thing that you can't figure out. You have X amount of dollars. You have X amount of players. You can average it out. Yeah, you maybe can't do an NBA style contract, but you telling me you can't figure out a way to guarantee Patrick Mahomes' contract? Patrick Mahomes should have asked for a guaranteed contract. But instead, he took a team-friendly 35-year deal because they manipulated and they bamboozled the players' union over so many years. Don't forget, this is a league. This is a media. This is a fans that actually had real discussions on if Lamar Jackson deserved a max contract for a quarterback. That's all you really need to know. I saw that Trump's sentencing for his 34 felonies have been suspended indefinitely. Now, I hate to be a brother that said, I told you so, but I told you so. I told you many, many, many times that Trump was going to win the presidency. I told you many, many, many times that Trump would never spend a day in jail. And you didn't believe me. Some of you very strongly didn't believe me and called me a lot of names that really, hurt my feelings. Now that it's happened, I have a lot of people asking me, how did you know? Well, I'm a man of logic. I'm a man of facts, not feelings. So I just look at things from a wide lens. In general, just the fact that Donald Trump was a presidential candidate in 2016, and then after knowing everything that he's done in 2024, let me know that his chances were very, very good. Because sometimes things happen, they sneak up on you, it's a wave, and you're not really expecting it. Like, for instance, I think the Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, college basketball, I don't think people were really expecting the wave that was. So they're like, they didn't know how to handle it. I talked about that in another video. I think when Trump came out in 2016, I'm like Adam Schefter. Now I gotta check on some things, but that's all right. We all good. No news to break right now. But when Trump came out in 2016, people just didn't take it seriously, but it became a wave. And you don't take stuff seriously, and then it happens. You're like, whoa, I can't believe that it's happened. Well, it was 8 years ago. So everything that anybody ever needed to know about Donald Trump, they knew. The good, the bad, the ugly. Mostly bad and ugly. They knew. So there was no, it's like the George Bush thing.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
I wasn't going to be fooled again. I've already seen this play out. I've already seen this happen. I've already seen America say, even though this white woman is a Clinton, and you don't get no higher up in the politics than that, even though this is a white woman and it's a Clinton, I don't want a woman to be president. You think things have changed in 8 years where a black woman, Indian, whatever you want to call her, on a short campaign, they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to have a black woman be president. Nah. It's just logic. It's just logic. They'd rather have the worst white man than a woman be president. It wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. You can see it. You just pay attention to these things. You can see it. You just got to ask yourself, did you really think that was going to happen? Also, what I found out over these last 8 years is why you do have the radical MAGA people, and you see those people online and marching the streets and at the rallies, you did not really understand the amount of people that you would probably consider a neighbor, friend, a coworker that seems perfectly normal that got MAGA paraphernalia inside their house. It's a lot more than you think. I have those neighbors. Neighbors I've taken a shot with, had a barbecue, watched the game with. I've had them. So I know that they exist. And they exist in much larger numbers than you think. You saw Obama tell people, man, what are you doing? You'd rather go with Trump. Yes. People are easily manipulated. They're followers. He has a good promo. That's why I said maybe The Rock could be the president one day. He got a good promo. First off, everything is wrestling. And what was end up happening was the more negative that you talked about him, the bigger heel that you made Donald Trump, the more that made him popular, the more that round up his fan base. He was NWO. He was Hollywood Hogan. Actually had Hogan at the Republican convention. The more negative that you talked about, the more you say he was the bad guy. He was Tony Montana. Why do you got all these Puerto Ricans and all these minorities They like the bad guy. Because we're a backwards society. There's no such thing as karma. I tell people this all the time. It's a fallacy. It's something that people say to make them feel better about the things that are happening around them. Oh, they get to what's... No, they don't. They don't. I seen the police officer. I know what happened with Mike Brown. And I saw him get $1 million for killing a black teenager in the street. Left his body there for 6 hours. The story that they tell you is not the real story. Got $1 million killing a black man. Karma's not real. Oh, they get it in there. What other ways is Trump going to get it? Became the president twice. What's the karma? It's not going to jail. What's the karma? He tried to get an attorney general, Gatz, that does the same thing as Diddy. Diddy's in jail. Gatz is playing golf probably today. Karma's not real. Now, I don't like to get into people's religion and things of that nature, but you think of these higher powers and all of this stuff, I think they just watch. Because why would they have such atrocities happen? Why are poor people are made to stay poor? You know what I'm saying? It's there is no karma. What happens, happens. There is no get back. Actions do have a reaction. Whatever you do, there is a domino effect involved. But as far as some spirit coming in and making everything better, no. It's not going to work like that. If you punch somebody in the face today, you might get away with it. It's possible. Then again, somebody might shoot you and they get away with it. I've watched enough unsolved mysteries to know that there's a lot of people that get away with crimes. There was no karma for them. Murdered somebody here, ran over somebody there, robbed a bank, never found the money. There is no karma. What's the karma for them? That's all an unsolved mystery. They robbed the bank for $11 million, untraceable funds back in '89. Never found them. They're living great. No karma. So if you're expecting something, some sort of get back for Trump, the man is almost 80 years old. It ain't happening. It would have already happened already. Evil people win a lot. You go through the billionaires list, it's not a lot of nice people. There's a lot of bad people that are winning. In sports, there are a lot of bad people that are playing sports and making millions and millions of dollars. There's no karma for them. Nobody's perfect. And we all make mistakes. But to think that when you see somebody inherently bad and you just assume because nothing else is happening to them that karma's going to catch up with them, you're living in the Matrix. This is the time I say goodbye, and that we're sponsored by absolutely no one yet. Please like and subscribe at all your podcasting stations. You can find it on The Headline King with Robert Littal, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, BSOTV. I'm out.